Well, you guys, here we are. I would always tell you guys, YouTube is the battleground, or was the battleground for free speech. And that is where we needed to make our stand. Because now, in the European Union, they are going to roll out the same format of how YouTube uses algorithms to pick up copyright violations. They're going to roll out that same format to the rest of the European Union internet. Now this is huge because it's coming to a theater near you. This is what America is going to look like soon. They're launching it here in the EU because they want to try it out and see if they don't have mass riots and all these things. But make no mistake, the crackdown is coming. This is Fahrenheit 451. The elite want to run from their mistakes. They want to run from their history. First they came for the books, and now they're coming for the internet. And for those who did everything in their power to discredit Wikipedia, with its mistakes, it was still the last database reference that we had of the real history of the elite that they couldn't hide from. And, of course, Wikipedia is the one that's going to take the biggest hit because anytime a reference is cited, they're wanting to charge back anyone using that information. Let me give you an example of what they're saying about Article 11 of the new EU Copyright Directive is what it's called. Spark Europe called for the removal of Article 11, arguing that it would make the last 2 decades of news less accessible to researchers and the public, leading to a distortion of the public's knowledge and memory of past events. Unquote. Fahrenheit 451. The directive's proposals include giving publishers the ability to request payment for the use of short bits of text. That's for-profit websites, who primarily host content posted by users, must take effective and proportionate measures to prevent unauthorized postings of copyrighted content, and copyright exceptions for text and data mining by scientific research institutions. They're talking about YouTube, which again was the knife's edge for free thought. And I told you guys, if we didn't fight for it now, they're going to roll this out to everyone else. Member of Parliament Stephen Doughty also wants to see similar upload filters used to prevent extremist material on the internet. And of course, we know what that extremist material is. It's anything that criticizes their mainstream narrative. This new law will not affect large corporate news outlets because they can afford these fees. It'll affect the masses, preventing any individual thought from ever becoming mainstream. And when you look at the supporters of this, it is the mainstream news outlets. And dissenters are people like you and me. Now, how is it that there's way more of us than there are them, but they're going to still push this through? Oh, but that's not the worst of it. Article 13. They're talking about upload filters and copyright claims for quoting a person's words. So if you say something stupid like, whoop, there it is, that was copyrighted by somebody. You see how this works? Article 13 has faced criticism over the possibility that it could create a chilling effect on online expression. Although the draft of the directive does not make explicit references to them, it has been interpreted by critics as to require proactive filtering of uploads by websites which handle user-submitted content. Critics argued that automated systems such as YouTube's Content ID can suffer from false positives and an inability to account for copyright limitations, such as fair dealing. And this is exactly what we're dealing with. Fair use. And I was still getting copyright strikes. You can appeal it, but by that time, your channel's terminated. Or you can't do live streams. So now you know why they first launched all of this on YouTube. The voice recognition software, all of it. They knew this was going to get passed. These people are all in bed together. And now Google is going to cash in because they're saying that they're going to actually sell their algorithm to all of these startup internet companies so that they can make all this money and keep all of us under control. A post by Google in 2016 commented on the efforts that will be required by technology companies to comply, but mentioned that YouTube already had Content ID. Well, what do you know? That to me sounds like insider information. Goes on to say as startups would likely need to buy the filtering software, large technology companies such as Google may benefit. These laws would apply to all content sharing services. All these alternative video hosting platforms will be forced to comply on EU servers. And if you don't think this is coming to America, you're mistaken. Julia Rita chimes in, describes the efforts behind the laws of large media companies trying to force platforms and search engines to use their snippets and to pay for them. And on June 20th, 2018, the European Parliament Committee on Legal Affairs approved major changes to European copyright law. It's already been approved, but it has to be confirmed by the European Parliament plenary in July 5th, which is coming up. So, we will see how all this rolls out, how it affects everyone, but this is the beginning of the end. This is going to apply to all of these platforms, not just YouTube. Okay? There is no safe video hosting platform. YouTube was our last chance. Anyway, you guys, take care and be safe.